Any more questions? Representative Talarico.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll be brief. A couple of things I just wanted to comment on. Why would we require something to be put on classroom walls if we don't intend to teach it or talk about it? I'll just leave that. The second,
I think it's a great idea if you do talk about it, if you do reinforce those principles, if you do reinforce that history and tradition. I think that's fantastic. So hopefully it does lead to some of those conversations.
Right, that is the intention. And we just want to make sure we talked about, I use the word forced because if I read the bill correctly, the state government is forcing every educator to put this on their classroom walls. That's your understanding of what the bill does?
If a document, it displays privately donated to a school and there's enough to put in those classrooms, yes, they put those up just like we do with our motto.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that in this. I know there were some versions of that in earlier sessions, but this is requiring that every school shall display.
If it's privately donated.
No,
Is it not?
it can be private.
That's the version I read.
I don't. Yeah, I don't see. I don't
Is that
see,
not?
Didn't say that. No.
So it's saying they have to accept any offer of a privately donated poster or framed copy? So are you
That's
saying that
correct.
if there's not a privately donated copy, they don't have to put it up?
That's right. If you have a district that they're not given to, I don't know why you would.
Okay, I want to clarify that with the bill author when she comes back up. But it is not optional. So if something is, if a well-funded religious organization, like any of the ones that y'all work for, if they provide that copy of the Ten Commandments, the teacher is forced to put that up by law.
It's just like the "In God We Trust" mottos. When those are privately donated, the schools put those up in a conspicuous place.
But a teacher cannot decide not to put the poster up.
Just like a school district cannot decide not to put up the national motto.
Right, so the teacher does not have control over whether this goes on the classroom wall.
Just like the school doesn't have control over the national motto. Yeah, that's right.
I'm thinking that's a yes, right?
It's the same blueprint.
It's just
That's
late.
right.
It's getting late, so I just want to make sure we're giving direct answers. The one we talked about how this is just teaching kindness and empathy. You know, when we try to do that in this committee or in this legislature, the resistance we always get is, well, that's the parent's role. You got to get parent consent. So I'm curious, would y'all be open to an amendment that requires parental consent before this religious document can be put in the classroom?
I would say the fact that it's a civil code, we don't require religious consent to obey laws. And if this is cited 500 times as the authoritative source of so many of our codes, I think we teach it because it's part of the culture under which we live.
So no to parental consent, is that?
No to parental consent on the Ten Commandments, yes.
Okay, that's helpful. Just two more things, just wanted to clarify.
Now, may I also
Sure, yes, of
clarify
course.
that if it becomes a matter of conscience, we have lots of legal protection for conscience. If there's a cause for conscience, we have all sorts of options for that. You can opt out of lots of stuff. But as far as, and I say that because I don't intend it to be religious coercion, but I do intend it to be the common culture of the nation on which our civil law is founded and based. That our common law in our United States, a lot of it's based on the Ten Commandments.
I just wanted to correct for the record that I didn't say that all the founding fathers were deists. I'm just pointing out that most historians agree Washington, Jefferson, Franklin, Madison, and Monroe were deists, and I'm talking about historians with those credentials. And then last,
I will invite you to our museum, and we'll show you the documents that directly
Yes, sir.
contradict that original
and I do appreciate you all three being here as activists. I know this is something y'all care a lot about, passionate about, and activists are always welcome. I wanted to clarify historians versus activists. And the last, I think, is thanking the members of the committee who have voiced concerns for the students who are left out, the students who are different. And I know all three of you are practicing Christians, and so am I. And I think that's actually a very Christ-like concern, to be looking out for the outcast, to be looking out for the stranger. I think of the parable of the Good Samaritan, where it was the heretic who did the saving. That's the hero of the story. It wasn't a member of Jesus' religion. It was someone from another religion. And so I just think that's a very important concern that we should always keep at the forefront, especially as Christians. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Members, any more questions for this panel? All right. Thank you all very much for being here.
Good to see y'all.
Now you can go to Denny's.